So for this part, I'm just sketching a rough idea of how I want the picture to turn out. So that way when I add the paint, it's going to be easier for me. I'm going to start by sketching a crescent moon. And really the rest of the painting I'm going to freestyle from here. So I'm going to take a scoop of the colors I'm working with today into my palette, so that way when I go to mix them, it will be easier to work with. I'm scooping some white. I'm going to wet my brush and clean it on my napkin before grabbing my next color, which will be pool blue. And I'm taking a scoop of that as well before closing that up and cleaning my brush again. I'm going to grab some of that lemon yellow. And lastly, I'm going in with that true violet color. So I'm going to keep the same brush that I'm using, and I'm going to take some of that white and then grab some of that violet as well. I'm going to mix those two together to make a pale purple. Next, I'm going to grab one of my smaller detail brushes, and I'm just going to outline my moon in the white paint. Now it's okay if the outline is not perfect. This is just the base we're starting off with. And I'm going to take that white as well and freestyle some of these designs that I have. You can draw these out if it's easier for you as well too. Next, I'm going back in with that medium-sized brush, and I'm going to take that white and purple mixture that I made earlier and start painting in the moon. So I'm going to give it one even coat and then give that a few moments to dry. While that's drying, I'm going to go in with the brush and then pick up some white, move that over to the side, and then grab some blue, just a little bit of blue. I'm going to start to mix those two together to create a pale baby blue color. And I'm going to start thickening some of those lines I made earlier with this pale blue color. So now I'm going to let that first layer dry on those blue lines that I made. And I'm going to mix a portion of that together off to the side. I don't want to mix all of the white into the yellow because I still want some of that yellow to remain on its own. But with the one that I just mixed, I'm going to take that and start to add it into the center of the moon while that purple paint is still wet. And that's going to slowly blend them into one another and create a sort of glowy look on the moon itself. This part is important to do while the purple paint is still wet, so that way they kind of blend into each other. And then we're going to go back in with our detail brush, and we're going to add some stars using that same pale yellow color that we just mixed. I'm going to start with a dot and then draw a line across the middle and then across the top. And I'm going to add a few of these stars throughout the canvas. I'm also going to add some smaller little stars around them. And you can make these in various sizes. I try to keep these on the smaller side, just so they look a little more like twinkling stars. So next I'm going to take that same pale yellow color that I've been working with, and I'm going to add a few of these little adornments along the moon. And I'm adding those along the top of it. And I'm just taking my brush and adding a ring around the top and then dragging it downwards. And I'm just taking my brush and adding a few circles along those strings just to give it a little design. And while I have the color on my brush still, I'm going to go ahead and reinforce some of those lighter yellow highlights I made earlier, now that the paint's a little more dried. Now anywhere on my canvas where some of that blue and white I added looks a little transparent, I'm going to go back in with that same mixture and just reinforce that color. Again, for this part, you want to make sure that your brush has enough water on it so that way your paint can glide smoothly across the canvas. I'm just reinforcing the areas where it's a little transparent. I'm going to add a little bit of those blue highlights to the moon as well, just to help tie everything in. And then I'm going to take that violet color on its own and outline the look with that. And again, this outline does not have to be perfect. So we're going to give that a moment to dry before we move on to the next step. So now we're ready to move on to the liquid gold leaf part. So I'm going to remove everything that I no longer need. And I'm going to start with a fresh napkin as well. So the liquid gilding comes like this, and it's important to shake it up. And I'm going to grab my gilding brush, and then I'm going to remove the lid. Your kit will come with a plastic one that you can use. Since the liquid gilding is an enamel, it does destroy your brushes. I'm using this one because of the shape of it, and I've already used it in a previous project. However, feel free to use the plastic ones in your kit so that way you can throw them away at the end. And I'm just going to go in and start adding accents wherever I see fit. And you can add as little or as much of this as you like. So I'm going to add them along the moon. I'm also going to add them in the stars as well too. So that way they can really pop against the black canvas. Now this enamel is pretty strong scented, so I would recommend to wear a mask when using it. And as I'm making the stars, I'm doing them in different sizes to demonstrate depth in the painting. Once you've added the amount of liquid gold leafing that you want, go ahead and close up your container to avoid spillage. So for the next step, we're ready to add the fairy lights onto the painting. So in your kits, you will have a utility knife, and we're going to use this to mark where we're going to add the fairy lights on our painting. And I do so by making the shape of an X. And you want to make sure you keep this pretty small. This is a small size. It's about the same size of the stars I made. So that way when you push the lights through, they'll stay in place, but they'll go through easier as well too. I'm just making that in the shape of an X. And I'm going to stick around the center of the painting because if I get too close to the edge, those stretcher bars in the back of the canvas are going to prevent the knife from going through all the way. So just to make it easier on myself, I'm going to stick in the middle. And you can add as little or as many of these as you want. Of course, you do want to keep in mind not to add more holes than fairy lights that you have. So we're going to flip our canvas over and begin adding the fairy lights. And in your kits, they come wrapped in these packages. You want to remove this paper, and then they have 3 settings: flash, blink, and then steady. So you'll unwrap them and then count the holes you made. So what I like to do is I like to take the lights and I bend them like this, and then I'm going to twist them. And that's going to make it easier as I feed them through the holes that I made. So again, I'm taking it and I'm bending it and then twisting it. And I'm going to pre-twist the ones that I need for my canvas. Now you can start feeding the lights through your canvas. And I'm going to push the wire down. To help hold some of the lights in place, I'm going to add some tape. With the remaining wire, I'm going to wrap it around the box. I'm going to tuck it away. And you can secure this with tape as well too. And then we're going to flip and have it.